For you, a motorist, to think about your interaction with a police officer. What is the best way to avoid getting a ticket? What's up, people? Today I want to talk about something we all think about, and generally speaking, if you've been driving long enough, you've come to experience. Getting pulled over by the cops, what to do, how to go about it, and generally, what is the best way to avoid getting a ticket? Okay, so this is something I have come to learn a lot from experience, and also, frankly, researched when I was a much younger guy driving sports cars in college. Because everybody wants to push the envelope, everybody wants to speed a little and whatnot, and really, do you want to get a ticket? No, it sucks. It sucks across the board. However, I think it's really important to have this talk so you know what to do when you get pulled over, because I'll tell you this, the easiest way to not get a ticket is to not get a ticket. And I know that is a stupid thing to say in a way, but it's also the smartest thing to say, because your first course of action to not get a ticket is to don't do something illegal. But that doesn't mean that you wouldn't accidentally make a turn where you're not supposed to, or speed somewhere because you didn't know the sign was at. Those things can honestly happen. Or maybe you're doing it on purpose and having fun, hopefully reasonably, responsibly. Anyway, you can get a ticket. Now, your second course of action to avoid getting a ticket is to don't be a jerk to the cop, because they're a human being that is going to interact with you, and they're going to make a judgment call on whether it's in the best interest of the public to either give you a ticket because you probably deserve it, or they're stuck with giving you a ticket, maybe for a quota or something that people like to argue on whether it exists or not. Or, if you're just being a jerk, they're probably not going to let you off with a warning. So, the talk today is going to be about, frankly, common sense. But the common sense as for you, a motorist, to think about your interaction with a police officer, and just some good tips on understanding them and what they've got to go through, what they're looking for, as well as how you present yourself to give you the best shot. And that's what I want to go over. So right now I'm driving my very boring truck. I'm not a truck guy, I'm a sports car guy. Normally I drive that, but today I'm just going to work like any schmo. So I'm driving along, and let's say you see lights in your mirror. Crap, is it for me? You know, you don't know. Okay, so if you see lights in your mirror, whether you knew it was coming or not, that's your first opportunity to go, okay. Now, one thing that you can do to let the officer realize you see them is, you don't have to slam on your brakes or freak out. Maybe just go like this, real chill. I see you, I will be complying. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So then you need to think of, where am I gonna pull over? Now, you need to pull over and slow it down to a speed quickly. However, this is also your opportunity to show the police officer that you care about them and yourself in general traffic stop, because traffic stops are dangerous for everybody, if for no other reason than you're stopped on the road. So right now I have an opportunity. I can either just pull alongside the road and let traffic go by, but if it's a highly traversed road, or I just don't think that's the safest thing for myself or the officer or traffic, I might turn like this to a teeny tiny road. And for instance, this one here, which I've never been, is kind of like it just sort of ends. So now I'm going slow. I'm letting the officer know I'm going to stop, that kind of thing, because you don't want them to think, if you decide to just turn and then stop, just quickly to be somewhere where you're out of the way of traffic, you don't want them to think you're trying to escape or do something really shady. So you just got to be real cool. Just be cool. Everybody be cool. Okay, so now I found a nice place to stop where I have no problem with traffic. So first thing I'm going to do, stop gently, put the car in park or neutral or whatever. I am going to, especially if it's night out, I'm going to turn on the light so the officer can then see myself and the occupants in the car. Everybody be cool. You, Karen, everybody, like seriously. The officer's going to talk to the person driving, not everybody else. You just need to chill out, okay? Regardless of what you're doing, it's your opportunity. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to make any quick movements. You don't want to go reaching for stuff, because if an officer sees you reaching for stuff, he's going to think likely you're trying to hide something, or maybe you're reaching for a weapon. Both are things that are going to put him on alert and make this person not feel good. And that's already not going well for you. So just be chill. Put it in park. I might put my window down or partially down. You just want to be really cool, okay? And then kill the engine. The next thing that I do or would do is keep your hands where they can see them. Honestly, like, I know this is common sense, but seriously, I have the light on so they can see. Don't take off your seatbelt, because if you got your seatbelt on, no reason to take it off. Just stay there, turn the car off, and I'll just real chill, rest my hands on the steering wheel like this. Open. I'm not going like this, I'm not going like this, not in my pockets. Don't fumble around. Just be chill, okay? And you just wait, and then they come up. Now, they might engage in talk. They might ask you, do you know what you're doing? And then that's another opportunity for them to decide, one, do you know you did something illegal or not? And two, is this person trying to lie, albeit possibly badly, to me? So they're gaining information. So just be cool. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're speeding, that's your call. You can either play dumb. Maybe you are dumb. It's happened to me. I'm like, no, I have no idea what's going on. But oftentimes they'll just ask for license and registration. So let's talk about that. If they ask you for your license and registration, like for me, I typically carry my license in my back pocket, okay? And typically registration and proof of insurance I'll have in a glove box. Now, the other things that can be in a glove box are weapons. And the other things that can be on your person are weapons, all of which a cop is accustomed to being worried about. So what I'll typically do is, like, of course, got my license in my back pocket. I'm going to reach for that now. So I'll go ahead and get it. Real chill, okay? And then my proof of insurance and registration is in my glove box. And you could even ask, may I go for that? And then you just real chill. You go to your glove box, you get out your stuff, and you're just real cool and be like, here, thank you. So they're going to run it, okay? But the truth of the matter is, police have computers. They can just run your tag and know everything about you. And if anybody's wrote notes about you in the past, just everything. So they already know, okay? This is an opportunity for them to, frankly, get to know you and see what's going on, and going from there. So I want to bring something else up. Also, if you carry any kind of interesting permits or something, such as a CCW, a concealed weapons permit, they're going to know that. And if you're a person that carries that, you should already know the things you need to do during a traffic stop. So I will say, if you're a CCW holder, that's also important for you to comply in the way that needs to happen. I'm not going to go over that now. But if you are somebody who can legally carry a firearm, etc., or anybody relating to law enforcement, etc., obviously you need to be talking about that. But you probably don't need to watch this video. So that's what's going on. Now, police officers are human beings, okay? And if you take the time, no matter what it is that you've done to get pulled over or whatever it is you think you've been done, if you take the time to just respect them and the scenario of a traffic stop and what's going on, you're already in the best position for them to think you're an okay person, and maybe let you off with a warning, which is good. And frankly, I've gotten quite a number of those, because one, I wasn't being an absolute menace to society, and I was being a respectful person that they probably thought isn't going to be being a jerk and a total pain in the butt afterward, and they just don't even want to screw with the paperwork. Now, of course, I've gotten tickets before, and we all know that your likelihood of getting a warning with a state trooper is like this. It just is. It's a total different thing. But that doesn't mean, whether you're having a bad day, an attitude problem, or get pulled over by a statey that you're probably not going to get a warning from, doesn't mean that you have the luxury of being a jerk. Just be cool. It's their job. They're doing civilization here. Also, a traffic stop is not your opportunity or your thing to create a big social standpoint or podium here. Regardless of what your social beliefs are, your political beliefs, your feeling or your vibe or your attitude of that day, doesn't matter. Chill the out. I don't care who you are, whether you're a young person, whether you've got your chip on your shoulder to police, or whether you're an older baby boomer like my dad that thinks he's just so special that doesn't deserve to get pulled over. Yeah, he did that. I remember him being a terrible role model as a kid. 2 or 3 times he got pulled over for speeding. I don't think he was necessarily trying to, but he was a total jerk who would get mad and slam his wallet. And I'm thinking, what the Don't do those things, okay? If you don't want to get pulled over, don't do something illegal. Now, the other tip I have for you is this. If you don't want to get pulled over or have police follow you long enough to find a reason to pull you over, then maybe don't do or show things that make them think you're a person doing illegal things. I.e., if you've got a lot of air fresheners hanging from your mirror, there's probably a reason for that. You're trying to cover up a smell. And anybody with a brain knows that, especially that is accustomed to it. It's funny, I've heard police refer to lots of air fresheners as the felony forest, jokingly, if that tells you anything. The other thing is, let's say your friends smoke, okay? They smoke marijuana and such, and the smell is even just on their jacket, and you've got nothing in the car and you don't. Do you realize that if they have a canine unit come out and smell the car, the dog is going to smell that, and it's going to hit on the person, and then you're going to have to explain that. If there's nothing in the car, you don't have anything to worry about. But there's a lot of things like this, and I think it's important, this talk is very important for young people to think about who they are, how they're conducting themselves, how they appear to the rest of the world, and just to be cool with cops. The other thing is, if you try to lie to a cop, they get lied to all the time. They see all kinds of people. They have lots of experience. Just don't, okay? And when you're driving, okay, down the road, let's say there's a police officer on the side of the highway or a road somewhere like this. Just chill, okay? Just keep doing your thing. If you're not doing anything wrong, be cool. Because if you start freaking out, they're probably going to think something is wrong with those people and scrutinize you harder. So I do have to say that right now, one, I am not a lawyer. I am not trying to give special advice. I'm giving you common sense thoughts and experiences of my own life that I've felt to be valuable. If you go having a rough time with police, don't come back at me because you were a jerk, okay? And the other thing, too, is it's a cop's discretion whether to give you a warning or not. You could even ask for it and say, I really genuinely didn't mean to do that. I'm not trying to do anything special here. And they might give you a warning. They might be human beings. But, you know, if you're a 20-year-old guy driving a Subaru with a giant fart can exhaust, and you got air fresheners, and you got a flat-billed cap on the side of your head, and you've got an attitude that reeks of, I'm entitled and live in my mom's basement, they're probably not going to want to give you a warning because you're probably not going to learn. That's just human nature. I'm just telling you. Or if you're an older person that's copping an attitude, whether you're a middle-aged housewife that likes to drink red wine and you got a big attitude problem, that's not good. Or if you just think all cops are crap, that's probably not going to help your case either. They're still going to treat you like every other citizen, but if you want any shot of being just treated nicely, the nice word is comply. Drop your attitude. Be cool. Realize they're people too, and they have a job that's difficult, and a lot of people around the world don't like them. So if you do some basic things, like slowly calm down, just give them a way to let you know, get out of the way of traffic, put your hands on your steering wheel, turn the light on, tell them what you're going to get and where you're going to reach for it. That lets them know that you at least have enough respect for them and think enough of them and their job to realize that their job is difficult. They're at the very least going to treat you more like a human being. And you may get a ticket. I've gotten tickets too. But that's also not your opportunity to get mad at the cop. Okay? And if the police officer happened to be wrong and there was a mistake and gave you a ticket, then in the United States of America, you have the opportunity to then go to court, present your evidence, and then get it dropped. Okay? So there's lots of wonderful opportunities for justice to be done, so to speak, and whatnot. So this is my common sense talk of that the best way to avoid getting a ticket is to not get a ticket. Either one, by don't do something illegal, or two, if you do get pulled over, and you're cool with the cops, and you're not one of those people that are going to be a menace to society, they might just let you off. And if you do get a ticket, whether you deserved it or not, you then have the opportunity to go to court and potentially get out of something or get a reduced fine of some kind, of which would be a talk for another time. So please, let's all be cool. That's really all I'm saying here. And, you know, for the probably 1 to 4 people that are going to troll and call me a bootlicker or something, you're an idiot, because I'm giving you good information to have a better future and life with all of this. So whether you're young or whether you're old, I think this is good information. And gosh, isn't it sad they don't teach you this stuff in school nowadays? I think it'd be more helpful. But beyond that, obviously, there's a lot of things about driving and life that I can't tell you. I'm basically coming at this talk today from the standpoint that you're not doing something heinously illegal, that you're not like drug or weapons trafficking or doing ridiculous, horrible things, or like human trafficking or something like that. I'm just talking if you're a normal human being, maybe enjoying being a motorist in a sporty or vintage car, or just going to work in general. So remember, no matter how bad of a day you're having, I'm sure the police officers have had tough days too, and we're all people together, so relax. Put your own ego and your own feelings aside. This is part of how civilization works, and if you are cool and respectful, you're going to have, first, you're going to have the easiest and safest traffic stop possible for both you and the officer or officers, and secondly, you're going to have the best opportunity to not get a ticket. So that's really it, guys. Pretty simple video. I'm out here in the cornfield, and whomever lives at this house is probably going to think I'm a weirdo now. So I hope this has given you a little bit of food for thought. That just being cool is certainly helpful for about everything in life, and a little bit of understanding to your fellow man. Even if your fellow man may be likely to give you an expensive ticket. But what did you do? Okay? So everybody be cool, and I hope today's video is somewhat helpful, or at least food for thought. And as a note earlier, when I said that a traffic stop is not your big shining moment to create a social movement or tell the world what you think of it, it's not. Nor is this YouTube internet video. So if you do have feelings, they're highly negative about society or law enforcement, etc., maybe just keep those to yourself. All right, guys, look forward to seeing you next time.
Hope you enjoyed today's video, and naturally that you will subscribe, but please click that bell so I can continue to bring you wholesome and entertaining automotive content. Also, a huge thanks to Avalon King ceramic coating. They're supporting this channel and making this all possible. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to using it on all of my vehicles, including my old dirt bike. Ceramic coating bonds directly to the surface of your paint, trim, and plastics to give a long-lasting shine that beats all waxes. It lasts for years and it's easy to maintain. I've got it on my Viper right now, and my car has never looked this good. So give them a try. Again, thanks for watching, and I look forward to see you next time.